Looking for a place to live? What do you look for? Convenience, value, safe housing? Well, of course you do. The Housing Authority of Middlesboro offers affordable housing for you and your family. All the apartments have been updated, are energy efficient, income-based rent, fair market rent, and flat rent. Whatever your situation is, the Housing Authority of Middlesboro provides safe, clean housing that is user-friendly in a neighborhood-type setting. Randy Earl invites everyone to look at the Housing Authority of Middlesboro. Call 606-248-6500 for more information. Safe and affordable housing you can call home. The Housing Authority of Middlesboro.
Hi, I'm Jim Mills Jr. of Mills Furniture and Appliance out of RJ, Kentucky. As you can see, Mills Furniture and Appliance is providing you with the highest quality outdoor power equipment there is. Husqvarna, Mills Furniture and Appliance, bringing you chainsaws, weed eaters, push mowers, brush cutters, blowers, riders, and self-propelled mowers. For anything you've ever wanted, needed, or desired in the outdoor power equipment, Mills Furniture and Appliance and Husqvarna, bringing it to you.
At Long's Pick Pack, customers are always number one with us.
We are passionate about our customer service. We believe in offering you only the freshest produce and superior products. So when you come to Long's Pick Pack, your grocery shopping experience is something to enjoy and look forward to, not just a chore you have. Mikey wants to invite all the kids, too.
Family Long's, join the Galaxy Kids Club.
Long's Pick Pack, 134 Pine Street, Pineville, where the culture of our community is alive. Jeff's Pharmacy is now the exclusive home of the Parata Automation Prescription Service, which delivers high-speed and high-accuracy filling of your prescriptions. With the Parata, we can offer more personal service to our customers. Jeff's Pharmacy also provides all types of vaccinations, like shingles, hepatitis, flu, and more. We accept all Workman's Comp and Medicare Part D. Jeff's Pharmacy, your local good neighbor pharmacy, North 19th Street, Middlesboro.
106.3 FM. I certainly appreciate the turnout this evening, and even more so, I appreciate all the candidates being here with us this evening. This is an opportunity for you to find out a little bit more when it comes to the Bell County Clerk candidates. There'll be no pointed questions, nothing that's going to put anyone on the spot. It's just an easy way to get down to some nitty-gritty and do it in a very civil manner. I appreciate, again, everyone who's here this evening. I know you have other things you could be doing, but I think one of the most important things for our county at any time is to make sure our voices are heard, and I hope this is an opportunity for that to happen. So if you're ready, we're ready. One more round of applause for the folks who are up here this evening. Now, before we get underway, I do want to let you know that out of the kindness and generosity of Channel 13, they're here taping this. It will be on the television, Channel 13, Hometown TV, and it's 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. They will also make it available at other times. I'm taping it for the internet. You'll be able to go and see it on demand as well. So appreciate them. Let's have a hand for Clarence and Chris and everyone involved. We also have three distinguished guests with us this afternoon, and they're the ones who's going to answer or ask the questions this evening. All I'm here to do is to make sure the timekeeper is where he needs to be. By the way, my friend Travis is keeping time, and we'll tell you how that's going in just one second. Let me introduce the folks who are asking the questions this evening. To my immediate left, someone that probably all of you know, this is Romel Johnson. She's been a part of the Middlesboro community for decades. Let's have a nice hand for her. Now, I want to make sure I get this correct. She served as a member of the Middlesboro City Council and Middlesboro Independent School Board, now experiences life as a concerned citizen who speaks out for herself and often speaks for those who are unable or unwilling to speak for themselves in favor of a cause or against an injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, Romel Johnson. Mr. Charles Birchfield, Jr. is a native of Bell County, employed at Ershig Properties, better known as the Middlesboro Mall. He's worked at the mall for the past 30 years, currently serves as the mall manager for Middlesboro and property manager for Ken's Plaza in Johnson City, Tennessee, Advance Auto in Williamsburg, Kentucky, and Canterbury Station in Gadsden, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Charles Birchfield. And someone close to my heart here, this is the first person I thought of when I thought of the debates, because I thought this young lady was very outspoken and well-spoken at the same time. Her name is Julia Herron. She's an alumnus from Morehead State University, a degree in secondary English education, currently pursuing her master's degree in business administration. She has been a Middlesboro native for 23 years, graduated from Middlesboro High School, became a notary public, serving in the Bell County area. She loves her hometown, and her hobbies include studying literature, politics, volunteering, as she's doing this evening, and various organizations in her community. She is a big part of this debate. Thank you so much. Let's have a hand for Julie. So, we have a timekeeper down here. The timekeeper is going to be very, very easy. This is Travis, and Travis has 3 cards. The first card is a blue card. It gives you 60 seconds. Tells you you're at the 60-second mark. The yellow card is 30 seconds. Now, obviously tells you at the 30-second mark. And then 10 seconds is red, and it's telling you you need to wrap up as soon as possible. My only job here is to make sure that I make sure everyone has had a chance to have their say. That's about all I do tonight. These are the folks who are going to be asking the questions. These are the voters. They're the ones that you're reaching out to. And of course, the folks who are on television who may not have the opportunity to get here tonight. So if you would, keep in mind, all the microphones are live. When you pick them up, they will be live. If you could refrain from making any comments while another candidate is making their comments, it would be greatly appreciated. And one more thing, out of consideration for the folks who are on stage, if you could please silence your cell phones. I'll give you just a few minutes to do that. Silence your cell phones, put it on vibrate. If we're ready to begin, let's have a round of applause one more time for your candidates. We're going to have 1 minute for each candidate to have an opening statement, tell you a little bit about themselves, and they can pretty much say anything they need to. We'll start with Mr. Matt Asher. He is in the Republican seat, so to speak. Mr. Asher, if you would, please let these folks know about what you do and who you are.
I was born and raised here in Bell County. My mother and father are Marcy and Duncan Asher. I have a wife, Rose, and a 3-year-old son, Duncan. And the reason I decided to run, I wanted to give people a choice. I'm a University of Kentucky graduate. I'm an engineer, and I've managed a business here locally in Bell County. Also, I work for the Federal Highway Administration, and I just feel like I have the skills and abilities to do an effective job in the clerk's office.
All right, nice hand for Mr. Asher, please, and thank you, Mr. Cagle. Mr. Cagle, your opening statement, sir.
Can you hear me? My name is Paul Connor Kaywood, and I'm the son of Connor Kaywood and Joan Asher Kaywood. I was born and raised here in Middlesboro. I've been in business here for nearly 30 years. I have been involved in the clerk's office, directly working there, and through my mother, who was county court clerk for 29 years. I believe that in the last few years, the clerk's office has not provided as much of a service that it has in the past, and I felt like I could bring that back to the people and make it more personalized and address the issues that they need. I have a daughter, Ellen, and my wife is Laura Kaywood, a teacher at Bell Central. Thank you.
Nice hand for Mr. Cagle. Also on the Republican ticket, Mr. John Brock.
First of all, thank you, Brian, for having this afternoon, and I'd like to thank you folks for coming out. It obviously shows that you care about the clerk's race and what's getting ready to take place. First of all, I'd like to introduce my parents, John and Martha Brock, who are here this afternoon. Also, I have some other family members that are here supporting me and have been along the way. My wife, Tammy, is also here this afternoon. We have a daughter, Alexandria, who could not be with us tonight. She is at a track meet in Harlan County this afternoon. And we also have a son, Trey, who's sitting back there this afternoon, who's 13. He's going to hold you accountable to the 1 hour or less, Brian. That's what we got in here. So, all right, a little bit about myself. The reason I run for county court clerk is because I've always had a desire to seek public office. I like working with the people. I like helping people. I have a business background. I've I've been in business for over 17 years. I'm a Bell County graduate, attended Southeast Community College, and a graduate of Broken-Moore University. Being in business for 17 years, I understand what it means to have customer service, and that's what I want to bring into the clerk's office, is a customer service background, so that when you walk into that office, you're going to be taken care of.
Thank you, Mr. Blunt. Thank you. 1 minute for opening statement. Yes, sir. Okay. Make sure we pay attention to the gentleman we have him wearing yellow hats. You know that's who is Travis is keeping the time for us this evening. Mr. Hoskins also running on a Republican ticket. Sir, 1 minute. My apologies, Mr. Brock.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carly Hoskins. I'm a Bell County native. I'm married to Darlene Hoskins. We've been married for 30 years. I have 2 children, Elizabeth and Jacob. I'm running because I want to see a positive change in that office, positive leadership that I think I can bring. I have over 25 years of business experience. Currently, I'm employed with Subway Development of Kentucky. I've been a business consultant with them now for over 2 years. Prior to that, I was with Shoe Show in Middlesboro Mall as a manager and district supervisor. And I just feel like that I can bring the change that's necessary in that office. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoskins. Also running on the Republican ticket, Debbie Turner Gamble. 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Debbie Turner Gamble, and I'm running for Bell County Clerk. I don't know if this is on or not, but I don't need it. And I've not had a lot of previous experiences because I've worked all my life in the Bell County Clerk's office, which I'm running for. And it seems like when I've seen where all the negative stuff was going on in the clerk's office, I thought maybe I'm one that can go in and get it back to where it was. We had a good clerk's office, and I'm planning on trying to get it back to where it was. I'm married to Jim Gamble. He's a retired bus driver for the Bell County school system. I graduated from Bell County High School in 1976, and I just want to ask for your vote and support in the Bell County Clerk's Office election.
Thank you, Ms. Gamble. Ms. Charity Collett Hayes.
Can you hear me? Good evening, Brian, fellow candidates, and citizens of Bell County. I'm Charity Collett Hayes, Democrat candidate for County Clerk. I've lived in Bell County all of my life. My parents are Brenda and the late Woody Collett. As a young child, I was taught the importance to have a strong relationship with God and prayer, and attending church on Sunday, which I still do. Come from a long generation of hard workers. My grandfathers and great-grandfathers were farmers, coal miners, brick masons, a school teacher, and a Pinewood police chief. I graduated from Pineville High School. I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education, 2 master's degrees from Union College. I worked my way through college in the banking industry as a teller and in accounting and bookkeeping. I taught in both the Middlesboro and the Bell County school systems. My husband Bill and I live in Middlesboro with our 2 children, John and Annison. It is very important to me that my children and yours get to live in Bell County and raise their families and have the opportunity for good employment. That is one of the reasons I'm running for office. Thank you.
She's running on the Democratic ticket. Joyce Hoskins, she is running on the Democratic ticket as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joyce Hoskins, and I am running for Bell County Court Clerk. I have lived in Bell County for 50 years. I started working when I was in high school at the bank, and from there I went to Dr. Matheny's. I've been at the Solid Waste Department for 26 years. I decided to run for Bell County Court Clerk when I decided that it needed an office that everyone in Bell County could be proud of and get the trust back from everyone in Bell County. I have 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and 2 nieces that I'm raising. And I just want everyone to be proud of Bell County Court Clerk's office. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now on the Democratic ticket, Mr. Joe Harris.
Thank you, Brian, for having this forum tonight. I appreciate all you coming out to listen to the candidates. I'm Joe Harris. I'm running for county clerk. And the reason why I'm running for county clerk is because of the business experience and the public experience in my daily life of working with the community, working with the youth. I feel like I can bring that experience to the clerk's office. I have 3 children. My wife Susan, I want to introduce my wife Susan here in front row first. Susan Harris. I have 3 children and 3 wonderful great-grandchildren. And I feel like I can bring a lot of honesty, dependability to the clerk's office. I will be there. I will be a full-time clerk, a dependable clerk, a clerk for all the people of Bell County, not just a certain few, but all the people of Bell County. I would like to ask for your vote on May 20th, and I sure appreciate you all coming out tonight. Thank you.
And on the Republican ticket, Mr. Dennis Miller.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming out. A little about me. I was born and raised in Bell County. My parents were Ann Miller and the late Paul Miller. I attended college at Eastern Kentucky University and graduated with 2 degrees there. I also taught at Eastern for 3.5 years. Then I went on to the Kentucky Department of Revenue for 30 years. And the part of the Department of Revenue that I worked in was handling property tax, water tax, mineral tax, car problems, coal truck problems. We regulated and wrote regulations for the clerk's office. So I worked with the clerks, the sheriffs, and the PVAs for over 30 years in all the counties of Eastern Kentucky, in fact, most of the counties. I thank you again.
Thank you. Before we start with the questions, if there's anybody here who is running for any office that's not Bell County Clerk, please stand and be recognized. Anyone who is running for any office, please stand and be recognized. I appreciate all of you coming out as well as our annual. We'll now start with questions. They are very easy questions. Again, nothing pointed. Nothing's going to be having anyone put on the spot in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Please remember the 2-minute time limit to answer these questions. Once again, 2-minute time limit. Blue card is 60 seconds. Yellow card is 30 seconds. And the red card is you better get out as soon as you can. One more thing. For those of you who are using the microphones, just bring it up just as close to your mouth as possible without actually putting it inside your mouth. I want to make sure everybody can hear you. And thank you very much. If you're ready, we're ready. We're going to pass the microphone to our esteemed, this is not the American Idol panel, because you definitely be J-Lo. This is not the American Idol panel, but I will tell you that we have, I've handpicked these 3 folks. They represent our voting public. Julia is representing a new voter. Charles is representing a voter who's maybe voted a few times. And Romel is the classy voter. There we go. But again, we thank all of them for being here. Now we're going to pass the microphone off to Julia. Please listen carefully to the question. If you need it repeated, please feel free to ask any of the judges, any of the panelists.
Good evening. If you were elected Bell County Clerk, what steps would you take to improve public access to your office?
Mr. Asher, we will start with you. If you were elected Bell County Clerk, what steps would you take to improve public access to your office?
And access, like, just accessibility for the whole public, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Well, I can definitely put up a website. I've done that before. It's very simple. I've looked at the Jefferson County Clerk's Office and the Fayette County Clerk's Office. Website is very informative. I think it would be helpful. I think I would start with that. That's
all right, Mr. Asher, thank you very much. Mr. Kaywood, if you were elected Bell County Clerk, what steps would you take to improve public access to your office?
Well, the first thing that I would do is to keep the offices open on regular hours, like from 8 to 4 during the day. And what I would like to see happen is expand the hours on Friday, very similar to what the banks have, like to 6 p.m. and then keep one office open on Saturday from 8 to 12. Now, most likely the office that I would choose to keep open would be the Pineville office, and there's a reason I want to say that, or explain that, is that the Pineville office is a full-service office. The Middlesboro office is an annex where you can't really do anything other than renew your registration or tag a vehicle or mostly vehicle related issues. Now, the Pineville office has a large variety of things you can do. If you had, for instance, an attorney that wanted to do search some deeds on Saturday, or if you had someone seeking a marriage license, or a lot of different things could happen. A lot of different services could be provided at the Pineville location. I also agree with Mr. Asher that a lot of accessibility to that office needs to come through the internet. That needs to be expanded and provided. I know there's been an issue over the last several years of anything that would be purchased over the internet as to how to deal with the service charges that banks would have through processing credit cards. So if that issue got settled out, then that could be worked out. He's got the red card up, so I guess now.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. Mr. Brown, same question, sir.
As far as providing public access into the clerk's office, I think one of the first things I would do is I would take credit and debit cards. I think most of us sitting here tonight have a credit or a debit card. I've talked to some other clerks across the state. Those credit and debit cards are being used. There's no reason that our clerk's office should not be taking credit and debit cards. Now, the next thing, I would also extend the hours of the clerk's office. Again, if you give me the opportunity to be your clerk, I'm working for you. So it's a public service office. I think we need to look, there's several options. I think you, the voters, have got to decide on what best is for Bell County. Do we want to put the office open a couple hours late every week? Do we want to be open on Saturdays? Or do we want to have a combination of both? But I think credit card and debit cards, I think extend the hours. But I think the citizens have got to play a part in that. I think what works best for you. Do we need to be open on Saturday or a combination? So that's my response to that, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Hoskins.
Yes, I agree with everything's been said so far about the extended hours. I think that obviously we've had some issues in the past about the extended hours. Pineville location as well as the Middlesboro location. The website, of course, will be a good thing, but also I would like to, with the public's assistance, look at the feasibility of possibly moving the Middlesboro location so that we're able to better serve the citizens of Middlesboro and the citizens of Bell County. There's been a lot of issues with parking and things of that nature. And I'd certainly like to look at that. Again, the credit debit issue is also something that's very important. That's just a way of doing business at this point. Everyone has debit credit cards. We should certainly look at upgrading the software systems that we have. And the Pineville office is obviously that's where most of the business is done, and that's something certainly our citizens would benefit from having extended hours there, at least on Fridays. Same as the banks. Same as the banks are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hoskins. Ms. Gamble.
The first thing I think that we need to do is get the clerk's office running good. We need to earn the people's trust again. I know everybody's been through a lot lately. With the office has not been open, we just need to gain the trust back, be friendly, and let people know that it's their office, and welcome them when they come in there. And we need to be transparent to let the people know what all's going on. So when you come in the office, you don't know when you get there what to expect. And like I said, most things just been friendly. The office hours, as far as both offices, is very important. I know I worked over at the branch office for 15 plus years, and that office takes in as much business or more than the Pineville office does, as far as renewing the tags and just the everyday work. But like Paul said, it is that's the main office in Pineville. They've got the record books and like deeds and wills and stuff that, that office needs to be open, but we need to take care of both offices and just mainly the friendliness and let people know that it's their office. It's not my office. No county official owns the office. The taxpayer paid for the clerk's office to be built, and it's the people's office. I'll never feel like you shouldn't go in the office because it's your office. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Harris.
I think it's very important that we have a full-time clerk. Office management is going to be very important in the clerk's office. And as Debbie said, transparency is going to be very important. We're going to have to gain your trust back. And I think also office hours would have to be open to serve the people. And I think regular office hours, which are 8 to 4 right now, I think an extended day is good, just as the banks do. And I think one of the other candidates said that as well. I've also thought of the possibility of rotating Saturdays between the Millsboro and Pineville office. I think our clerk's office should be accessible to both the Millsboro and the citizens of Pineville. So that's something that, that's a possibility that we could think about as well. Another thing that's important, I think, it would be cross-training our staff so that everyone knows the jobs. When you come in, you don't want to catch someone on their lunch break and they say, we can't help you right now. There's no one here to do that. I think everyone should know every job in the clerk's office. That helps if someone has a sick day, a vacation day. We'll be a full-service office at all times because we are there to serve the people. And also, of course, technology. We need to update our websites. Things need to be available to you all on the website. You shouldn't have to come in to do everything. And I've talked with people at the Secretary of State's office, and that is something that we can look into, and we will see in the future that we will have more accessibility on our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hayes. Mrs. Hoskins.
Well, everything's been said, that it all sounds good, and I agree with almost all of it. Debit cards is a very good idea. Where I work at now, people come in every day and want to use a debit card. We have to turn them away. We'll be back when we go to the bank. So I think that's an excellent idea. And rotating Saturdays, I don't think any one place should be open. We should give the employees a day off also. So if they rotate Saturdays, that would be good. The office is to serve the people. And I think any ideals or comments from the public once you're into the office, you should take that into consideration and just work with the people to see what's best for them.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins. Mr. Harris.
Well, the clerk's office is the most important, one of the most important offices in our county. Everything from your cars to your homes to your property, everything comes out, even your taxes starts out, if you receive the mail, comes out, starts at the clerk's office. I do agree with the debit card. I think that is something very important we need to get started in the clerk's office. Website is another thing I have talked about. That's great. I think the website ought to have a chat line where you can go on and ask questions on what you need to bring when you come into the office before you get there. That way you have everything you need. I think that's very important. Now, there is, in the state, you can renew your tags. A lot of military renews their tags now and pays by a debit card that you can send out. It's very little of it's done from what I've talked to some other clerks, but it is in place now that you can renew the tag. That's something already in place. The times, yes, I agree that the time ought to be increased. I had talked about increasing the time to 5 o'clock each day. On Saturday, I've talked about opening the Millsboro office, and the reason why I talked about the Millsboro office is the liability in the courthouse. You have Homeland Security now. The dispatch has been moved to the 3rd floor because of Homeland Security. You open that courthouse up and it's empty, and there's no sheriff or anything like that. You open that up to liability on the staff. You open it up to custodial fees on the county. You're opening up a large amount, some more expenses to the county taxpayers. So that's the reason why I say we take the Millsboro, because like Debbie said, the Millsboro office still does more money than the Pineville office. And if it came into place that we had to open it up to Pineville one Saturday of the month, we would do that. But I was looking out for the liability and the budget of the county. Employees. If you treat your employees right, they will treat customers correct and right.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Mr. Miller, sir.
If I'm elected clerk, immediately the Millsboro office would stay open to 4:30. Then I would petition the fiscal court to open the courthouse doors till 4:30 in the courthouse, which they're now officially locked at 4. That's 2 immediate things I would do. The next step I would do is, and you probably don't know anything about this, all the deed books are stored in the basement now. You don't have access to them. All you have access to is 3 computer screens, and you've got to be a genius to work those computers to find them. I would bring those back up, get those up to date, as well as the computers. We'll have the computers and the books for research by any person who comes in the courthouse. Also, the staff needs to be professionally trained. We need to look over every step that they're doing now and see if we can't find problems. And you may think that the clerk has this one big pile of money they collect and they deal out this pile of money every month. That's not the way it works. The clerk collects funds from different avenues, and they have to total those separate funds every month, and then they have to issue checks every month to all the entities. In my administration, I will have a ledger on the computer and on the outside of the door of the clerk's office showing you where every penny goes, and then I will also offer it to the newspapers to publish, so you know where your clerk's money is going. As of lately, you'll see in the newspaper, clerk turns over checks, period. You don't know how much money, you don't know where it came from. That's no way to operate. I hope to modernize the clerk as much as I can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And the question now, Mr. Birchfield.
If elected, how would you address the parking problems and the limited room that you have in the lobby area at the Middlesboro office?
Mr. Asher.
Okay. I don't know how to address the parking problem, but as far as the limited room, I think that what we have to do is to actually make our service better so we don't have lines. I think if we don't have lines, we won't have parking problems and people backed up. So, you know, if it takes to hire another employee or something like that, or open another terminal where we can get people in and out, I think that's the way to do it, because I don't know how you would solve bad parking spaces. I think that's the only way I can think to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Asher. Mr. Cabler.
Well, the Middlesboro office has an adjoining office that has, I don't know exactly what it's used for right now, but there is the possibility that you could open it up and maybe put more workstations. But I do agree with Matt that part of the issue there with the people being stacked up outside until recently has been just the chaotic state the office has been in general. However, that location has been there for 30-some years, so I think people are very familiar with that location. I think there is the possibility to expand it, and I know in the back of the facility there's room for additional parking that possibly the landlord could maybe help with paving or grading and make an area for people to park. But it's an established location, and I think that for especially older people that it's convenient, people that are used to being there, and I think that to move it totally would be something that you wouldn't want to do right away, if ever, because I think there is room to open it up and make the flow better and just change things around a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Cayley. Mr. Brock?
As far as parking, I think I have to agree with Paul. There's a back lot. I think you can work with the landlord and access that lot. Restriping the parking lot, I think that always helps. As far as the lobby in there, again, you've got access of extra space, so I would go in and revamp it, get it as customer service friendly as possible, so that when folks come in, they don't have to spend, and again, I think it goes back to what has happened over the last probably 6 months. I know that office does a tremendous amount of business, but as things get back on track, and I think some of that stuff is going to take care of itself. I think the back parking lot, and then obviously, I hate to use the term of remodeling the office, but expanding the office inside and getting the lobby more customer friendly.
Thank you, Mr. Burrell. Mr. Hoskins.
I think the previous speakers have touched base on the parking lot issue. Obviously, that should be looked at. Of course, anytime you're spending taxpayers' money, you need their input, whatever it is you're spending. So the expansion of the office is certainly a consideration. The parking lot, obviously, a situation as well that should be addressed. As I mentioned earlier, relocating that office is certainly something I'd like to look into as well. But again, has to be total consideration of the customers that we're serving, and that's you, the voters.
Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. Ms. Gamble.
Was you talking about both offices or just the Middlesboro? Just the Middlesboro office. Just the Middlesboro office, okay. That is a problem.
Make sure you use your microphone, ma'am, so they can hear you. No problem. Thank you.
That is a problem, the parking and the office space, which the office space, one of them said, Paul, I believe, when you could, there is another room there that you can open up to maybe make more room there in the office. As far as the parking goes, unless you do something around the back or the side, that if you've got a good bunch of workers, they can get them in there and out there, in and out quicker than what they have been lately. And I know people from Pineville that would come to Middlesboro because it is easier getting in and out there. So they have a good way of getting there inside of the office. So, but it is a problem, and that is something that I think that somebody else would have to look into that, the construction part of it. But it is something that we can voice our opinion about to get that taken care of as best as we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Hayes?
I agree with some of the other candidates, but I think a lot of the problem was the irregular business hours. And I think that's something that we can kind of monitor over the next couple of months and see once the regular hours are established, if that helps with the problem. If not, I'm not familiar with the parking lot. I'm not familiar with construction, so I can't say how I would reconstruct the parking lot, honestly. But I think that is one of the most important offices in the county, the clerk's office. And we may need to look into the possibility of eventually relocating that office. That's something that you as taxpayers and the new clerk needs to maybe look into. But I do think that maybe it might fix itself with good established office hours and an efficient staff and a good management from a full-time clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Ms. Hoskins?
Well, I agree. Be efficient to get the customers taken care of as promptly and quickly as possible. Will take care of a lot of it, because you won't have them standing in line waiting and relocating. That would be costly. It may be a possibility later on. I just think that once everybody is doing the job that they should be doing and getting the customers taken care of, a lot of it will be taken care of by itself.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins. Mr. Harris?
But there is a problem there with the parking space, and I'm sure not only the problem that it created for the clerk's office, it also created a problem for the businesses also adjacent to the clerk's office. So that's something you need to get with the landlord and work out something on the parking and increasing the space. But first of all, go back to the budget. You cannot do anything if the budget will not allow you to do it. You need to look at it, because you can't go build it and increase in space if the budget does not allow. That's very important, because put nothing on the taxpayers. But yes, it does need to be, the parking lot needs to be redone or moved, whatever needs to be done to make it work better for the business and the clerk's office. But I would work immediately with the landlord and see what possibly can be worked out.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Mr. Miller?
I agree with my opponent here that the budget's going to dominate what we do in that office. What I would like to do is move. If you get 4 people in that office, you've got a crowd. If you've been in there, you know that. I would like to follow what Tennessee does. They have county offices in the mall. There's plenty of parking in the mall, and there's plenty of room. The rent may be a problem. We don't know. We don't know what they're paying now for rent. But that would be my solution, because that office is just way too small. I don't know any other solution for it. You could park in the back, but then where are all the people going to stand in that present office? There's just no room. It's just too tight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. I do want to say thank you for being very respectful of the time. Everyone's doing a great job. Ms. Johnson.
What would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of the Bell County Court Clerk? Once again, what would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of Bell County Court Clerk?
Mr. Asher.
Okay. I would say the people that know me, they trust me, and they would say that if you don't know me, when you learn me, when you did come to know me, you would trust me. And they would say that I have skills and abilities to manage a business, and that I'm effective as a business manager and a leader.
Thank you, Mr. Asher. Mr. Kaywood, same question, sir. Once again, what would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of Bell County Clerk?
Well, I think that probably the primary thing they would say is the fact that I've spent over 25 years in the automobile business, and having been an automobile dealer, you have more direct contact with the clerk's office on behalf of yourself and the customer probably than any other business in the county. I have grown up in that office. I've worked in that office on 2 different occasions, and I think probably just my overall general knowledge that they would probably say is my strongest suit. I mean, over the course of my business career, I have tagged thousands of automobiles, and I've helped many people, especially in recent years, who have sought help at the county clerk's office and didn't get exactly the service they felt like they needed or got, and they would come to me and I would help them with their title and registration issues, and there's a lot of things that factor into that, but I would say that is probably my strongest suit. And this is the area that the general public deals with that office the most. So I would say that would be my strongest suit.
Thank you, Mr. Kaywood. Mr. Brock, same question, please.
And repeat that one more time.
Yes. What would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of Bell County Clerk?
I think my supporters would say that I'm a people person, that I communicate well with others. I like to treat people like I would like to be treated. I have been in business for over 17 years in one of the toughest industries out there, the restaurant business. And one of the reasons that we've been able to be successful is our customer service. And I think that's probably my strongest asset coming into the office. If I'm given the opportunity to be the next clerk, is I like to see things fixed. I don't like to see people unhappy. And so my assets would be simply being able to work well with others, communicate well with others, and the customer service side.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. Mr. Hoskins.
I think my supporters would say about me that I'm honest. The integrity that I bring to that office would be of the utmost importance. I've been in customer service for about 25 years, so I know what it takes to put people first. And I'd certainly do that if I'm given the opportunity to lead this office. And physically sound, I think that any time you make a decision, you should weigh what it's going to cost and what the benefits are going to be.
So you don't spend a dollar unless you know that it's going to the places that it needs to go to. And anyone that knows me knows that that's the way I do business.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Gambrill.
They just made me think, whenever I first called for office, somebody called me and they said, it was a gentleman, he said, I told my wife that we need to vote for you, that you're the smartest one running. I said, sir? I said, you've got the wrong number. And he said, well, I mean, you've got the most experience in the office. And I said, well, yeah, that I do have. And like some of the rest of them was talking about, I've got 25 years experience in the office, and then if one of the girls needs to go to lunch or one of the girls needs to be on vacation, I can step in there and work on the county. I won't be too good to do the work along with the managing and trying to take care of people. I'm a person of people. I love people. And I think that's something that God has given me, is a love for people. And I just want to share that with the people of Bell County and let everybody know that it's their office. They're welcome there anytime that they want to come there. I was in the office just last week doing some work. That's the first time that I have felt welcome in that office in the last 7 or 8 years. And I did appreciate it, and I appreciate Barbie for stepping in and keeping the office open. And like I said, I can't stress that enough. It's your all's office, and you need to just know for the one that you would feel the most comfortable coming in and talking to if there was a problem. And like I said, I mean, I've got 25 years experience in it. That's all I know as far as working. Well, I did work at a car dealership, so I do know that is so important for car dealerships to be waited on, because if the car dealership sells a car and they make money and they take it in our county, that means we make money. If they take it to another county, we ain't going to see that money. So just one thing I can say is my experience. And thank you.
Ms. Hayes, once again, what would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of Bell County Clerk?
I think and hope that my supporters would say it would be my character, my honesty and integrity. I have the ability to relate to people. I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I treat elderly people the way I want my grandparents to be treated. And I treat other people's children the way I want my children to be treated. I taught school for 7 years. So I have the ability to work with people and deal with people, parents and children. I worked in the banking industry as a teller, so I've dealt with money before. So I'm an honest person. I've worked in bookkeeping and accounting, so I've dealt with angry customers that want to know why their account's out of balance or they might be overdrawn, and we sit down and discuss why that's happened. So I know how to deal with people, and I can do it in a calm manner and a friendly manner. And I think I would bring a lot of energy to the office. I'm not sure, but I think I might be the youngest candidate, so some people ask me out when I'm campaigning, they say, how old are you? And I tell them my age, and I say, but I don't have experience. I've never worked in the clerk's office, but I can give you experience. I can give you 25 years. I can give you the energy. I'm very excited about this job. I'm very excited to be able to serve the people of Bell County, and I can be a full-time clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Ms. Hoskins.
Well, I don't have the experience as a politician, but I do have 26 years experience working in the county with people every day. And I've always been honest with everybody that I come in contact with. I'll work with them the best I can if they have problems with any accounts, try to straighten them out. And my mother taught me, small, you always treat people the way you want to be treated. Be kind to people and it comes back to you. And the experience and just being good to people and being honest is my best quality to bring to the office.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins. Mr. Harris, once again, what would your supporters say makes you the best candidate for the position of Bell County Clerk?
Well, my management experience, I have, actually I started working in public when I was 14 years of age at Firestone Retirement. I have been in management for 35 years. I've owned my own business for the last 19 years. Honesty, dependable. When I set out to do something, you can depend on it. I will get it done for you. I have working in the public is something that I've always loved. I mean, like Debbie says, she thanks God for being able to talk to people, and so do I. Let's get Debbie out of here. We talk to you, turn the lights out. I'm not a good public speaker with a microphone in my hand. But when it comes to one-on-one with you and doing a job, I guarantee you won't find anybody work any harder than what I'll work for you. I'm dedicated. I will give you everything it takes to get the job done and turn this county around in the clerk's office and make it a good, great office for you. Organizer, my wife says sometimes I go over bounds sometimes about organizing, but get the office organized. A lot of people know that I'm very much into getting things where they're supposed to be. Also, like Hands of Coal, when I did Hands of Coal, I set my goal to honor the heritage of this county, to honor the coal miners, their families in the coal industry, and I didn't do anything until I finished it, and it was a great day. We put 15,000 people on the boat. So this gives you an idea. When I set my mind to something, I'm going to make it happen. And this clerk's office is something I've got on my mind to turn it around, make it an office for the people, for all the people. And I will be there, either in the Millsboro or Pineville office, or you can reach me right here on my cell phone. If I haven't seen you in this election, after I'm elected, my number is 606-269-2330. You've got it now, and you'll have it then. You call me. I will be there for you.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. And Mr. Miller, same question, sir.
As soon as she asked this question, I looked back to the end of the aisle back there to two of my supporters, who just happened to be two of my best friends. One of them I started in first grade with. The other one, we got to know each other when we were about 12 or 13. One of them said I'm the most honest man he's ever met, which humbles me for him to think that. I don't think so, but he thinks I am. The other one says I'm a working fool. He says I work morning, noon, and night. He says you don't get any fun out of life. Well, yeah, that was my fun, working. I loved my job for 30 years. I really did. I really enjoyed it. And there's a third guy I would count as one of my supporters, except he's passed away. But he would be down here beating doors off if he could. And he told me a long time ago, and he worked in state government. In fact, he was my director at one time. He said, you know, I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican. He said, Dad Burnett, you do the job and you do it well. He said, I respect you for that. And I told him I respected him for the way he led us. So I think I've earned my respect through the years. And I want to prove it to you down here because you probably don't know me because I've been working all over the state for 30 years. I come home on weekends and then I go right back out on the road to the state. So I hope you take that in consideration. I've always tried to do the best I could do at anything I've had. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The next three questions will be 1 minute each, 1 minute each for each of the candidates to respond. 1 minute each. Back to the center.
I'm not a first-time voter, but certainly more educated now than I was when I was 18. I recently bought a vehicle, and it was my first time buying a vehicle. So, of course, I talked to my colleagues and peers about how to tag and insure the vehicle when all of the clerk's office drama was taking place. So several of them told me that it was not only faster but cheaper to go to Knox County and tag your vehicle. So we're losing revenue, and you would be surprised to find out how many people told me to do that. So how would you plan to keep the revenue in this city to keep people from going to other counties to buy their vehicles and tag their vehicles?
Mr. Asher, did you understand the question, sir?
I do. I think that was a problem that we've got rid of since Mr. Lentz took office. You know, since that time I've heard that things were the same as they are in Knox County. I don't know. I'm not trying to point fingers anywhere, but I think we're equal to the rest of the state, and I think that we're on the same page as everyone else because of the person that's in the clerk's office now.
Thank you, Mr. Asher. Mr. Kingwood.
Well, I think I can very clearly understand why you were presented with that option to go to Knox County. I think we've seen fees increase for the customers of the clerk's office here in Bell County. And I think as we've seen those fees increase, we've lost business. I know if for instance, if if you've got Walmart operating in Middlesboro and Target comes in next door to you, the first thing they're going to do is lower prices, not raise prices. That's how you retain customers. All unnecessary fees need to be eliminated. People need to feel confident when they go in there that they're going to get the same treatment and the same price. Not have to stand outside the door and say, what did they charge you? Here's what they charge me. I don't know. It needs to be a uniform, established integrity in that office, and that is something that I would intend to do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kaywood. Mr. Brock.
First of all, if you're providing great customer service, you wouldn't be going to Knox County. So that would be one thing that I would say. And everything seems to be going back as far as on a normal pace now with the intern clerk. But it goes back to customer service. If you come into the office and you're waiting on them and you're taken care of, you're coming back. It's just like in the business world. If you go in and you purchase something and you don't like the way you're treated, you're not going back. So the bottom line is you've got to provide great customer service. I'm getting cards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brock. Mr. Hoskins.
I agree with what John and Paul have said. The fees have been removed through the current administration, and I think all the taxpayers have benefited from that. No doubt about that. But again, if you provide good customer service, there's no doubt that people will come back to you. They want to keep their money in Bell County. People want to do business in Bell County. We have to give them a reason to want to do that. And removal of the fees, like I said, Mr. Lynch has done a great job with that. They've removed that. So anyone that hasn't been in the clerk's office in a period of time over the last few months, they will see a tremendous change. The staff it's been a tremendous change in the staff. And again, I think all the citizens of Bell County benefit from that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hoskins. Ms. Campbell.
Yes, and I know that Frankfurt is the one that puts the fees in the system, and statewide the fees should be the same. I'm like you, I did get charged for some unnecessary fees, and that's the first thing, which I think they've done, taking them off. But there'll be no unnecessary fees going back home, because I think people have hard enough time paying their own taxes that they do owe, much less charging them more. And everything should be the same. And if you're getting a good service, I think that people will stay here and they'll get the word that it is being good, and they'll start coming back, and we will bring the office back to where it was, and people will be proud to say that Bell County is where I live, and just be honest. The only thing I know about the fees not being the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Mrs. Hayes.
Well, I'm a very competitive person, so my first response to this is, and I've thought about this, is my goal is for Knox County customers to come to the Bell County office because we have such great customer service. I want to eliminate any unnecessary fees, and we'll have regular business hours. I think that was part of the problem while we were losing, while our citizens were having to go to Knox County, was they weren't being treated right, and the hours. I think that was probably the biggest problem, our regular business hours. So I would like to see not only our citizens, like the way our office is run, but I would also like maybe to recruit some of the Knox County citizens, because when they're here, they're going to spend money in our town. So that's going to be revenue for us. So that's my goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hayes. Ms. Hoskins.
Well, most of the chaos is gone. True Bell Countyans want to keep the money in Bell County. And the little bit of money that they may save driving to Knox County, they're going to lose on fuel. So I think that most people that live in Bell County want to stay in Bell County and spend their money.
Thank you very much. Mr. Harris.
Well, some of the problems that was going on at the time was like the $5 fee. The $5 fee has been taken off now. Robert's taking that off, and I don't care who takes it off, it's always taken off from the county people. Also, some of the expenses for Knox County, you didn't have the option. You were made paid at the bottom of your receipt. It says you get $10. Option you knock out of a $10 fee. For instance, like the coat tag. Coat tag is it's $34. You can opt out at $10 if you want to. You can take that off. Knox County said you can. Not Bell County said you couldn't. So there's other things you can get out of it, but the thing what I do is customer service. Customer service is back to where it should be now. You've got some great employees. Anything that does not have to be charged, take it off. Allow them to take it off. There's some tags that you cannot take the fees off. There's some that you can't. Look at Bobby Tiger, it says you take off the $10 fee. So you can look at that. You still can save money.